Welcome back to Sarah's Table. Tonight is a very special episode. I say it every time. It is always a very special episode. My name is Sarah Moore. My pronouns are she, her. Tonight, I'm going to be your host and your favorite person. I'm going to remind you that you should have something to drink, preferably water, if you have it. It's hot outside, you guys, and everybody needs to rehydrate a little bit. I'm using pineapple juice. It's delicious.
I'm not here. It is freezing.
Well, soon you will be here in the Midwest and you will be boiled
in
alive.
August.
You're welcome. Tonight we are going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be playing a game called Hedge, and we are going to be integrating a system called Tabula Sono, which is a virtual tabletop gaming system. And I have brought in some folk who know how to use it, because anybody who has ever watched my show or met me in person knows that I am very bad at technology. So we brought in a ringer, because otherwise I would break it. I still might. The night is young. We don't know. It's going to be a thing.
Personal challenge for yourself.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like it's not going to take a long time. I'll lose my mini somehow.
She broke the whole internet.
Everything's broken now. This is what happens.
Why is your mini on the ceiling?
We don't know. How did it get
to the ceiling? How did
it get four times the size? What happened? I don't know. I just hit a button and then it happened.
I am going to grab your mini at some point and make it 4 times the size.
I think it's going to be great. I'm excited about it. It's just so that I can see it easier. I'm going to do a quick safety discussion, because it is very important as a responsible game master and player at the table and human being to just know where everyone's lines and veils are. We here on Sarah's Table are much more about telling a story together and having a good time and making sure everybody's boundaries are respected. So here you will never find sexual violence, violence against children, or withholding food as punishment or starvation. We also, tonight's game, we're avoiding excessive insects, and my players all know that if we run into something that makes them uncomfortable and that they were not expecting, that they can throw up that X or notify us in chat, or if they're like, just say it out loud if that's something they are comfortable with. I'm going to go around the table and have everybody just introduce themselves. Also, if you could tell us who you're playing tonight, and don't forget your pronouns. I get to play tonight. I know what? Who said that was allowed? I don't know.
I did.
I'm gonna play. I am playing the Tempest, which seems to me like I can punch people with lightning, which I'm very excited about. So I have a couple of new folk on the show, and I'm gonna hop over to Bendy first.
Hey, hi, I'm Bendy, and you can find me with Obsidian Brews, a black tabletop experience, and that's where we are everywhere. So awesome. I am playing the Knight. Because I was very, very much drawn to this kind of dark, broody knight character that can just raise the dead. So we're going to have some fun with that.
We love the Starless Knight.
And what are your pronouns, Bendy?
Sorry, I always forget that. She, they.
That's all right.
I gotta keep the list in my brain, or then it's like pretty bird. Oh,
that's
guys.
Okay. This is why we're here to assist and nudge in case anybody forgets a thing. I'm going to drop down to Tutu.
Hi, folks. You can call me Laura or Tutu or Laura Tutu. I usually hang out with the folks at Queen's Court Games. Sometimes I hang out with Bendy over at Obsidian Brews. My pronouns are she, they. And tonight I will be playing the Ashen Bastion. Basically, I hit things real hard, which if you know me on the internet, you know that's kind of what I do.
We're all playing against type tonight, friends. I don't know how it happened. All right. Rob, who are you?
Who am I? On like a spiritual level?
Existentially.
I wish I knew. We're working that out. That's a lifelong journey. We're discovering that. Who I am on a more superficial level is Robert Hartley, GM. I'm a professional full-time dungeon master, game master, TTRPG player, nerd. I make mainly Dungeons and Dragons related content for the internet, but I also play other TTRPGs, mostly with Sarah on Sarah's Table. She's introduced me to a lot of them. You can find me all of the internet at Robert Hartley GM. And you can also find me as the Dungeon Master for a comedy group called Viva la Dirt League. For pronouns, I'm fine with he or they. And who I'm playing tonight, I lip read that because for some reason I think your mic cut out the whisper. I'm playing the Torch, who is, as far as I'm aware, a sort of healer buffer type group, buffing your allies and minor damage to your enemies while sort of controlling the battlefield a little bit, kind of type.
Perfect. Be our light in the darkness.
Yeah, I'll light the way.
That's a big, heavy, responsibility. You prepared for that?
Yeah, I'm cool.
Okay.
I'm cool with that. I can shoulder that burden.
All right. And then we're gonna hop over to our game master for tonight, Cato.
Hi, I'm Cato. I am the community manager over at Tabula Sono, this fabulous VTT that we'll be playing in. My pronouns are they, she, they. I use them interchangeably as long as it's respectful. I'm on the internet. End of sentence.
Right now, as a matter of fact.
Right now. More about that later.
And what are you doing tonight, babe?
Oh yeah, I'm game mastering. I'm gonna definitely make a wholehearted attempt at running Hedge for the first time. Had the wonderful opportunity of getting to play Hedge with the game creators, a couple of Drakes, Nabi and Sean Drake, who wrote this wonderful thing. We love you, the Drakes. And they were like, go forth, do it. And I was like, great, I will. So yeah, I'm really excited and I'm very nervous. My palms are sweating.
It's gonna be great.
He's weak. Arms are heavy.
Yeah.
No, just regular sweaty hands. No M&M in this.
All right. Well, take it away. Get us started.
Great. So just a quick intro. This was written by a couple of Drakes, as I mentioned. This is a beautiful tribute to the Fae and the dark side of the Fae. Whereas, we're so very used to the Feywild being tricky and sneaky and slimy and dreamy. This is sort of the undead underbelly of the Fae. We find ourselves in a world after the fall. It is a world in which we thought we once knew, but the remnants of humanity are kind of scattered to the winds. None of you, our wardens, as they are called, remember the fall. That was so far before your time, before you were born, that the life that you know as this sort of protectors of the realm has been your entire life, and it is your mission, oh wonderful wardens, to protect this realm from the encroaching Fae. We're constantly attempting to bring about a second fall and perhaps an entire consumption of the world as you know it. The only thing separating you from the Fae is the Hedge. And you, our wardens, have been gifted with certain special powers as a gift from the Hedge. The Hedge speaks to you. She is nature incarnate. She is the world that we know and love, and she must be protected at all costs. And every time that she calls to you, you hear, my darlings, my cure, stop at nothing. And we find our wardens where? Do you all have a secret hideaway? Do you have a town full of various huts and tents that you live in? Do you live in some ruins? Where do you all find yourselves in your seeming downtime? As
a group together? We live together?
As a group together. You all live together, correct, yeah.
I feel like we would have...
I imagine if we are en route, if the Hedge has called to us, we might just be setting up our little encampment. Everybody's got their own tent, their own bedroll, making sure that we are ready to pack up and run at a moment's notice.
Yeah, I feel like we would have a few different strongholds, as it were, like 2 or 3 different places where we can go back to, like watchtowers and stuff, like usually just reclaimed from nature, the abandoned warehouses and things that we live in. But then when we're out on a mission, we've got our own like survival gear, and we're just like setting up a little encampment together.
I like that.
And since as part of the world of Hedge, the game itself, you, our wardens, do not know each other's names, and you dare not speak your own. In fact, it's been so long since you have said your own name aloud, because you know that once you've spoken your name aloud, that the Fae will do anything in their power to use it against you. Do you have things that you call each other? Do you merely refer to each other as your role in this? What is it that binds you together when you are not allowed to use your own names?
I think anything that people like. I think the torch answers to anything that's flame or fire related. So, like, some people might have called them blaze or flame or flicker, or like that bright guy.
Oh, I like flicker.
I like flicker too.
I like flicker.
Nice.
I think you guys have latched onto Flicker.
Yeah.
Over the years, I think torches
does the torch keep being
a
like
lot of different names.
There's like a lot of other cool things you could
Blaze?
be calling me.
Maybe
Nope,
like
doesn't matter.
Blaze or something like Blaze.
Nope. Okay, Flicker.
He's trying to...
Okay, flicker.
What about Ember?
Blaze
What about Smolder?
keeps pushing all these other ones. Like Flicker.
Nope.
All right.
I mean, the easiest thing for the Bastion would probably just be Bash.
Because that's what you're doing to everybody.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Bash faces in.
What
From
about you, Bendy?
The knight, I guess I was thinking Nye, but I guess if we're turning that into a nickname, like Naya.
Oh, that's pretty.
It is pretty. And these are all for you to remember as communication pieces for each other. Sarah, what about you?
I think as Tempest, I think I always have like little sparks of lightning going on around me. So I think maybe Spark.
Ooh.
I'd call you Sparkles.
Sparkles or Sparky.
Sparky. I love it.
Naya, Sparky, Bash, and Flicker. Long ago, the Forehand Foundations.
And where is it that, what is the means through which the Hedge communicates to you? Do you all feel a kind of a collective thing? Is there one person that the Hedge speaks to or speaks through? Is there some sort of beacon in the sky or in the earth? What is it that you know? It is time. We are on the move.
Well, I mean,
yeah, I don't know if we. Sorry, Guga.
No, well, Flicker, you're closest thing we got to a holy man. So
yeah,
I was gonna say I didn't want to sort of make this assumption for the group, but I assume that Flicker spoken to through flame and heat waves and things like. When you see that there's sort of wavy heat, it kind of speaks to him, and whenever he's looking into a fire, you'll just watch him just kind of sitting cross-legged, staring into a fire, and you can kind of see the fire reflected in his eyes, and it's like behind the pupils, he actually has fire in the eyes. And whenever he's speaking to himself, looking at a fire, you know that he's speaking to the Hedge.
That means it's time to go.
Flames again.
Yes. So you all find yourselves, as you are sort of this wandering band, and you've found camp for the evening. It seems safe enough. The world itself is not really wherein the dangers lie. It is more so this encroaching presence of the Fae, which you feel deeper and deeper. Naya especially, I feel like, has this certain kind of like tug of the Fae. And as you're at your encampment here, you find yourself on a blackened glass sand beach. You can tell that over time, perhaps some sort of immense heat has hit here and formed these massive glass structures all over the beach. And you set up a fire yourself, and as you do it, you kind of watch as the base of the flames that you're starting to see just a little bit of melting and divoting, and noticing that the sand has this tendency to shift towards this glassy texture. And the torch is sitting, staring into the embers, when suddenly the voice calls, "My darlings, it is time. I need you now more than I've ever needed you before. You must venture forth into the wild, beyond the hedge, and defeat the evil that resides in one of the most holy places before the fall."
Flick.
Friends, come. I have a message.
Oh, here we
I
go
think
again.
Flicker is like a real beanpole of a guy. I think he's like really tall and lanky and just kind of wispy sort of a guy. He's got a little bit of might to him just by nature of like the physics of having long levers as arms, essentially. Like if he's grabbing something, he's just so long limbed that he can just like he can exert a bit of might behind him, but he's not really got any muscle to him. He's a noodle, yeah. He's a big old beanpole of a guy. And he has this sort of like a higher voice and this kind of wiry kind of look about him at all times. He's a little bit flickery of nature as well. A bit flitty in his attention span and stuff. But he calls you over and explains, we've been called. We need to go beyond the hedge this time. One of the holiest places before the fall has a great evil residing in it. We need to eradicate.
More things change, the more they stay the same.
Always up for eradicating evil, aren't you, Bash?
Oh, of course I am, sugar. Bash will step up. Just an absolute mountain of a woman, 6'8" if she's an inch. Huge, broad shoulders, powerful arms, powerful legs, powerful torso. But it's the functional muscle. It's not like a bodybuilder's. It's not lean and cut. It's
country strong.
Country strong. That's it. At some point, like maybe before the fall, when Bash had a name of her own, it could be that was what she did. She was throwing hay bales into the back of a wagon. But she slings her great axe over her shoulder and looks to the others. Well, you two ready to party?
Sparky's tiny. Like she's just like a little wisp of a thing. And it is never quite still, like crackling with energy all the time. And she doesn't really talk much. So she comes over and like kind of does a little excited hand gesture, and between her fingers, it's just like a bunch of like lightning that goes between them, and like she like her hair kind of stands up a little. Yeah.
Been a while, hasn't it, Sparky?
Yeah. She just like dances around, and then she gestures. She's been off to the side of the camp for a while you all have been sitting around, and she comes back over and she's like made you little glass sculptures that she like struck with little tiny lightning into the sand, and so she like she hands them all out to you.
Thank you, sugar. No. Put it in my little.
So you probably have thousands of them from her.
Yeah,
and I treasure each and every one of them.
Yes, thank you.
Just like those little glass animals that you like
menagerie.
Put them in a little the true glass menagerie of it all.
I think Naya has been like sharpening her blade, and only stops when you come over to hand her glass animal, and she just looks at it and then has a pouch that's just full of them, and she like gently places it inside and nods, and it's like, so it is time, so it must be done.
And as you stand, having received this gift, and kind of dust the black sands off of your legs, and you look out. If you pop over to Tabula Sona, if you don't have that window open already, if you look out, you notice this large body of water. However, you can see that there is a shoreline on the other side. It appears that this is a large river. Whereas, for those of us in the Midwest, when you look at Lake Michigan and think that must be an ocean, you can see a little bit of the other side of it. And as you approach, flicker our torch, you get your eyes go fiery once more, and you freeze in place, and you hear, "They've come." And before you appear several figures.
That is more than several. It's more than
that's a lot. That's a handful. That's at least a handful.
That is the right amount.
That is just the right amount.
Go get him, Bash.
So if you didn't already know, Hedge will immediately dive into combat.
Great.
Diablo.
As the kids say, ya yeet.
Is that what the kids say?
I don't know. I'm 35.
I've heard kids say that, I'm sure. Somewhere.
We're going to dive right into the action of all of this. The wardens always go first. It does not necessarily matter which order we go in. Feeling when you're feeling called to it, that would be when you go. That turn order can also change when we circle back around, but you all go first before these fey creature appear. You see before you these floating orbs in various colors. They're particularly you're noticing various shades of blue, bright cyan, deep cobalt. They kind of light, and they glow like a firefly. They like flash on and then dissipate, and then they shift and flash on again. Additionally, you see shadowy figures moving along the shoreline here. I've pinged it on the board. These shadowy figures that look human-like, but incorporeal in a way. And rising.
Kato, there are 5 orb-like minis on the board, so I want 5 different shades of blue. Go.
Oh, you got it. Full blaze.
That's what Tabula's for.
That's what
you gave us cyan and cobalt, right?
I heard cerulean. Did I hear cerulean? Did I make that up?
I said
I think you made that up.
Cornflower.
Cornflower is good.
Look at this. Look at this spectrum of color I'm pulling up here.
Look at this.
There you go.
I would like to point out, this is a reminder that I am colorblind to blue. So,
oh no!
Oh, wonderful.
Oh no! Is this terrible?
Oh no!
I'm gonna hit the blue. I'm gonna hit the blue one.
It's okay.
Sparky, if you hit that blue one, then I'll hit
the blue one. Just tell me to hit the blue one. I got it. No, it's
truly. Do you want me to change colors? I'm totally fine doing that.
No, it's okay. They all look. I see 2 that look green, and the other 3 look the same color. I see only 2 different colors on the board right now, and that's okay.
That's okay. That's pretty close to what's happening.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty much what it looks like. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yes.
Then it's fine.
This is extra funny. This is extra funny because, I love that you were able to do that on Tabula Sono, but I was actually just teasing you about just describing, just naming 5 different. I just want you to name 5 different colors of blue.
Yeah.
Okay. So we said cobalt, cerulean, cyan, cornflower.
They're all C's.
Robin's egg. I don't know.
Boom. Done it.
Midnight.
Yes. There you go. True navy.
Blue, dark
anyway.
blue, light blue, lighter
True
blue.
navy.
Lightest blue. Baby blue.
Bluish. Blue adjacent.
Indigo.
Bluish. Greeny blue.
There we go. Indigo.
Blue or purple?
Indigo. Well, I guess
It's between.
I've completely derailed us. I apologize.
This is how it goes. This is how the game is played. I'm fairly certain.
Cool. Yes.
It says in the rule book, you cannot start the combat until
you've named all the things of blue that you have thought of.
Having played a
initiative
couple
in
of
this
weeks
game
ago,
is how many blues you can name.
Yeah.
Right then. You additionally see coming out of the water itself, these human creatures, they amble and they shamble and they limp and they drag their bodies towards you. And you see emanating from their chest and out of their mouth and eyes, this effervescent, bright, bioluminescent blue as they make their way towards you.
Probably not good guys, right? I think Sparky is just gonna like lean over to Flicker and go like, bad.
Very bad. Also wet, so lightning, good.
Big thumbs up. Just like a little spark.
Sorry. Let's start this fight, shall we?
Okay.
Who's interested in going first?
I've got a thing that might be helpful.
Okay.
I think Bash rushes in always.
Yeah.
Always.
Yeah.
Always.
Naya would have been somewhat a few feet behind Bash going in, and like as these things come out, she kind of flourishes her long purple cape and like kind of like tilts her head down, sword out, and it's like, Bash.
Always, sugar. The great axe comes down with a flourish, and I would like to use under my powers for the Bastion something called Face Me.
Yeah.
So everyone hears Bash just scream, and it's this bellow of fury and rage and loss and bloodlust. So you bellow a challenge that must be answered. Spend a fate. All enemies advance up to 2 range bands towards you, from extreme to near, far to close, etc. Additionally, targets at medium range or closer must attack you this turn, but deal -1 harm.
Nice.
Amazing.
So,
additionally, so on your
big old thing.
On your character sheet or your playbook sheet, you'll see that there is a feature to mark off one of your traits or one of your fates. I'm sorry. And that is indicative. Just keep track of those. It's sort of like, burning a spell slot or something like that we're used to in other systems. So that would be how that is used. You do get fates back. You do get health back. So
cool.
As they all make their way towards you.
Kato, is this the kind of thing where you use a power and that's it, or do you use a power and also smack?
No, you can use a power and also smack and also move. And attacks of opportunity do not happen unless, for example, let's say, we're working with a D6 dice pool in this situation. So if you were to roll and it was a failure, that might be something where there's an immediate retaliatory attack. But there's no such thing as attacks of opportunity. So if you decided to do this and draw them away somewhere else, then that's an option too. So,
okay. So if I'm gonna schmack folks with my reach weapon,
yep.
It looks like I would roll 2d6 for might, because that's what that sounds like to me.
I would agree. And then you're going to take the higher of the d6.
Well, that's a 6.
Hey, which one are you hitting?
That's the little blue guy right in front of me here. How do you
double click
the thing?
There we go.
That guy. Thwack.
As you heckin' thwack. You rear back with your great axe and you slice through it, and you see the light just and disappear entirely. And before you, go ahead.
Oh, and then I was going to draw a little this way just to keep them away from the party, because they have to follow me.
Sure. You see that a little small blue orb lands on the ground, which you recognize to be a fate. Because the cool thing is, like a video game, it generated a drop.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Big that.
I'm gonna tilt. Boop, boop. I'm gonna tilt.
And you'd pick up a fate to replenish one of your expended fates.
Correct.
Nice.
I'm gonna lay this guy down so we know that there is a drop available for him. So he is vanquished, and these ones are starting to move again closer to you as they are facing you.
Just the biggest, stupidest, toothiest, feral grin, ready for this fight. Let's go, baby.
Let's go, baby. All right. Who's next?
I'd like to step forward and then sit down cross-legged on the ground and like put my hands out and close my eyes. And then I'm going to use a power called Call the Storm Wrath of Heaven.
Beautiful. Can you tell me more about that?
I call down the fury of the heavens, rain and sleet and flash of lightning. I spend a fate, and I deal 6 harm divided among targets in any range band.
Ooh-wee.
That's amazing.
Range band.
So I'm gonna choose where all of the bad guys are. I would like to do 1 harm to each of the big ones, and then the big guy that's closest to my pal Bash, I would like to do 2 harm to him instead.
Okay, so 1 to each of the big guys. Okay, and then this closest?
Yes.
Excellent. You said 2
you can
to
do
that
6 harm, right?
I can do 6. So yeah, so the closest, 5? The biggest, the one that's closest, the biggest one that's closest to Bash takes
this one,
an extra one. Yes.
X.
I think is that only 5 because there's 4 big guys. And then 1 extra to the other.
Oh yeah, you have 1 extra because you're doing 2 to this guy, and then everyone else got 1. So that
1,
4,
2,
5.
1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1.
The chandelier's gonna fall. Yeah. Okay.
You have an extra one that you can burn.
Well, there's also a little blue guy near him, right?
Yeah, near Bash.
Yeah, you can do 1 to that one.
You got it. As this one crackles and vanishes as well. I have to quickly pull up my thing. This one crackles and vanishes here, and you see you see a bright kind of orangey red ball fall down, which you do recognize as a health.
Oh,
nice.
As that one vanishes. And
is it sort of an action to pick those up, or you walk into them, or
you most
free object interact, or
the way I've played before is that you could pick them up at the end, but if you decide it would be sort of like a free action if you say, "Oh, I really need a health scoop." Chomp.
Right, you can
scoop it up.
Scoop it up, chomp it. This one also you hear just whoa as it vanishes before Bash here. Dropping another fate. And the other ones are looking pretty grisly. All right.
And that one was the one that just sort of disappeared was like one of those shadowy wisps of a humanoid, right?
Yes, one of those shades of sorts. Yes.
So I could also throw a throwing star, yeah?
Correct. You absolutely could.
Great. Then I'm gonna throw a throwing star at, let's see, this guy right here. Is it letting me push it? It's not letting me push it.
Double click, and sometimes you have to do like tick, 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 tick.
I mean, there it is.
Yeah, there you go.
That guy.
No, that is your friend.
Oh no, sorry.
I think that's Naya.
That's Naya?
Yeah,
I thought Naya was back farther. Okay. Oh, the bad guys are. So you guys, I am colorblind.
We can also change colors, truly.
It's not gonna help. That one, I guess, that's a bad guy.
Yes.
Yeah, he's one of the taller bad guys. That's why I was like, no, I'm looking at these amount of bad guys. And like, there's one.
I see.
There's not.
Sure.
Okay, so I'm gonna throw that throw-in star
Your feature is many and ranged. Is that what that is?
Many and electric.
Oh, cool. So you dump some electricity into it. Love it.
Yeah, and it deals +1 harm when it tries to act on its next GM turn. Like it
Excellent.
like takes a harm as it tries to move.
A little
Love
extra zappy zap.
Yeah. I would love for it not to be might because I'm a little fella.
Talk to me about what you think it might be and how you would do it. Are you surreptitiously kind of throwing it under your arm? Are you doing it through like an arcana, magical crackly moment?
I feel like it's more like that she's leaning on magic. I'm thinking I would prefer bright because I feel like
bright
it's like she's sort of using a little bit of the static electricity that's in the air and kind of like guiding it along with that.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay. So I roll. I take the higher of the two.
Correct.
All right. So I have 2 to roll. A 3 or a 1. So it's a 3.
3. So that is you do succeed, but there is a complication. And the complication therein is as your eyes kind of like go this milky white and your hair kind of starts sparkling and static, standing up on edge as all of this electricity is imbued into this throwing star, and you whip it out of your hand and almost in slow motion you see it cut through the shadow, the shade, this hollow and all of its energy, its negative shadow energy consumes itself around the star, and as a result, an errant spark launches out and hits Bash. A stray spark, causing just 1 harm.
Sorry.
Oh, no, you're good. You're good. We're good, sugar.
Love you.
Love you. Right in the tit.
Had worse.
This one falls and drops. Ooh, a graft.
Oh,
ooh, now we're getting fancy.
We will
get on that graft.
We will look that bad boy up towards the end and decide what that looks like. Unless someone wanted to jump on a graft immediately, but usually you have to take a second to kind of attune to a graft. So
I'll keep hitting things.
Keep heckin' hitting things.
We gotta slap some stuff first.
Yes. We have the knight and we have our torch remaining.
Go ahead, knight. I think Torch is grabbing a kuth ball out and trying to set it alight, and that's going to take some time. So I think the knight goes first.
Okay. So as I'm
trying to light it,
there's 1, 2, 3, 4 down, correct?
There are 4 down, correct.
Okay, let's go with this fun one up first. So I approach the ones on the ground, and I kind of like hover my hand over them. It's like, let's try this on for size. And I do a risen horde where I twist the broken bodies at my feet and raise them to do my service. Spending 1 feat.
You want me to go first so you get an extra bad guy, an extra one in your horde.
I think you can. Can you only do 2 at a time?
It's only 2 at a time.
Okay, good. I was like, otherwise I'm happy to go.
It's just 2. That's fine. Okay, so I stand over the 2 larger foes, and I do a risen horde, and then can I add that funeral pyre to it? Is that that's an additional cost, or is it just additional?
For this one, normally we would have some sort of advancement that you would get that eventually. For this one, I'm letting it be something that you can absolutely have.
Amazing.
One shot.
Thank you, DM. Thralls deal 2 harm, have 1 health, and they will explode when their health is reduced to 0. Enemies near or close take 4 harm.
Whoa. Dope.
That is gnarly.
It is very gnarly, very warlocky.
Before the end of that, as they're rising, I'm going to approach, I guess, this one right in front of me who's between the 2 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Click. Okay, it's not clicking, but either way. This guy. Yes. And I'm gonna use my venomous armor piercing sword.
Whoa.
I live for that.
Okay. And then I'm just gonna rear back and stab straight down into it. Delivering the venom. Oh wait, I gotta roll first, obviously, right?
Correct. Yes. Okay. I've also assigned those two thralls to you, so you can move them yourself.
I love that.
And they will act on your turn. So
they act on my turn?
They will act on your turn.
Oh, so I get to do their fun stuff next?
Correct.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Night. Me. That's what I should have gone with, but that's okay. All right, so it's 2 dice. Take the lesser. That is both are 4s.
Both are 4s. So you do manage to kind of whip your blade around and just drive it down through it, and it just kind of sparkles and just explodes outward, and you do have this sort of bioluminescent splatter across your legs that may come into play later.
Okay. You look pretty.
Why, thank you. And like, I don't really do anything. I'm like, I just kind of like ignore it. And yeah, I'll take it. And then the other 2 now I can maneuver around. Yes.
Correct.
Okay. So then I'm gonna have them turn on this one over here, and this one turn on this one over here.
Excellent.
Both greens.
Both of those.
So did you say they take an action and then they explode for 4 damage?
If they lose their health, yes.
Yeah, if they
so they just drop around until they die and then they explode. Wow.
Correct.
And I want them to swarm with claws and teeth.
Excellent, which is an automatic success because they are swarming.
Okay.
And you said that they deal 1 or 2 damage?
2 damage. 2 harm.
2 harm.
Woof.
Can you describe to me how they swarm these crackle ghasts and what they do?
Okay. So as they are they like floating? They look like they're floating, or are they like shambling on the ground?
I would say I would leave that up to whatever flavor you would like to imbue it with, because last time I played the knight, I turned them into vampire thralls, which was very fun. So I would say use it as a descriptor of how you would like it.
So as they rise up from the ground, their bones kind of reconnect together and like jaws rehinge, and they like kind of like growl as they're ready to attack, but they realize then it's like I start to take control. So they turn around and they start lumbering towards the other 2 and just engulf them in a flurry of claws and munching and crashing. Words are hard. Crunching. And as that happens, I turn to look back at Spark or Sparky, and I say, "How's that for pretty?"
So pretty.
Mm-hmm.
Just
beautiful.
Like a wide toothy grin.
I love it. Amazing. Is that anything else that you would like to do on this?
No, I'm going to remain exactly where I am and see what happens.
Excellent. Torch, what's going on in Torch's life?
Still alive. We have 2 of the orbs and the 2 that shambled out of the water.
Yes, the 2 will-o-wisps and the 2 crackle ghasts are still alive.
Cool.
Crackle
ghasts. That's cool. The powers on our sheet. If I've taken one, but then I've done the upgrade version of it, does the upgrade replace the one, or can I use either option?
You can use either.
I've taken Arise Light. I can choose Arise Light without Fear No Darkness. Okay, cool.
Yes.
I'm going to take I'm going to spend a fate to use Arise Light. You channel a wave of light which knits flesh and bone and burns the unclean. You can either heal or deal 3 harm, divided as you please among targets. So Bastion's taken a harm, right?
Correct.
But in this system, at the end of every encounter combat, everybody heals 1 harm and 1 fate. Is that right?
Correct.
So until we've taken more than 1 harm, it's not really a concern about healing yet. So I'll just make it all as harming. So as Torch grabs out of their pocket this like cute little ball, kind of softball sized, and it's like a cush ball stress toy that they're often squeezing with their sort of flitty kind of flickery nature. They pick it out, and it's soaked in it's pre-soaked in like a lighter fluid situation, and they hold it out in front of them looking for the light. And then there was always a spot within like a meter of them. They just have to find it. So you just kind of see them as if they're trying to get a radio signal from this cush ball, and eventually they find it. Eventually they find it, and it looks to anyone watching like a magnifying glass on a like burning leaves or anthills or whatever, and they kind of lower it and raise it through the light until the magnifying glass kind of focuses down onto that perfect little spot, and then they just hold it there for a second until whoosh, it suddenly lights up a flame in their hand. But it seems to anyone watching like the flame is a little darker than it should be, because they're taking some of the light from that flame, and then they are using that to sort of blind and burn the enemies. They're going to divide the 3 harm among the, let's see, we've got 2 of the orbs, so we'll go 1 on each of those orbs and 1 on the closest crackling bastion.
All right, the crab walking one, or the
let's go with the other one.
The other one. Excellent. As you unleash this sort of radiant light that just pierces through, you take out the remaining will-o-wisps, and you see as the crackle gas that has been swarmed with teeth and claws, you just see it shred. And as it's shredding, you're noticing, instead of like a blood or whatever substance you imagined would come out of this body, you're seeing just these rips of light, of glowing light, and what would be that sort of bodily fluid instead is just pouring out like liquid light as it crumples to the ground, and you see the kind of bioluminescence in its chest just flicker out and dissipate.
Awesome. Wonderful. All right. Well, I will accept. That is my arise light power, and then I can also make an attack, correct?
Correct, you can.
So then I take that flame. It's a flaming cush ball. I've taken the thrown. I've got thrown and flaming. So I don't have the many feature, which I just realized, which means it's just the one. So I have to pick it up after
go back and get it.
Yeah, I have to run over and get it. So I will then launch it at the remaining cracklegast on the ground there.
And you got it.
And I have to. What do I have to roll for that?
You roll your D6. Are you doing this as a might, a slight, or a bright roll? Are you using sort of strength and power?
I think it's just a straight throw. Yeah, I can't imagine justifying bright. So
I would say maybe a slight roll would make sense to me. If you're trying to roll, have it be dexterous.
I have a 0 in slight. So
yeah, use that one.
I roll 0d6.
You would roll 1. You would roll 2d6 and take the lower.
Okay. If I can't justify might, I will make it slight, and I will take 2d6.
You could make it be might, I think. Don't you think? I mean, if you're like,
he's got lanky lever arms.
Yeah.
Yeah, lanky. Like the way I'm imagining it in my head is kind of like it goes into like an anime scene of like somebody like throwing a Pokeball out, and it's just over the top, kind of swirly long. Cricket bowling kind of arms, and he's just throwing it as hard as he can.
I love it.
And it spins out, and you can see the lighter fluid kind of spinning off of it as it spins.
He's our little weirdo.
Can I make it might?
Yeah. Let's make it might. Go ahead and roll me your might.
All right. Doesn't matter. That's a 2. Yay, Rob's roll.
Do you have 1 might, or do you have 2 might?
I have 1 in might.
1 in might. Okay, so you would roll just the 1, and you roll the 2.
Yep.
Copy that.
Yep. Good luck, Nia. I'm going to smack you in the back of the head with a flaming ball. Bonk.
We are so good to our teammates.
You are doing super great to your teammates.
What's a little collateral damage among friends?
Exactly.
So a 2 is considered a failure. So as you have launched this ball anime
into
style,
the water.
you cast it into the water, and you hear it go and sink in there, and now you would have to go into the water to retrieve it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get that back.
It looks cool though.
It did look
It
really
looked amazing.
cool.
You
It
looked
looked
great
super
doing
cool.
it.
A
And
for
then
effort.
it's camera sort of zooms out of that anime mode and just back into regular mode as it goes. That's the
Excellent. And here we are with this one remaining creature. It is the GM's turn, which
we almost got them all. If I'd have
You almost got them
we would have
all,
taken them all out before
which
they
is
got to act.
so funny because I was anticipating, oh yeah, yes, definitely. It'll be a thing. And then I was like, oh,
Hit me!
hit me, hit me, Rachel.
I feel like during the whole of the rest of the combat, Bash was like, no, stop. I want to fight it. Stop it. Nobody hit them.
All right. Okay. All right. You know what?
I got that one.
Fine.
Bash is like calling them.
Leave me alone.
This one's mine. Okay, that one's mine.
What? Dibs.
Just kidding.
I call dibs. The one remaining Cracklegast, who is standing here near Naya, having been swarmed, makes her way over to you, and is going to she appears just in front of you, and it is this hideous thing, is this upside down, what you believe to be formerly a young woman, and she has this radiant light kind of seeping through, and it's almost as if the light has become her central nervous system. You're just kind of seeing these pulsing veins and nerves in this bioluminescence. She is going to make a move on you, as we call it, make a move. And she is going to
make moves on you. Now is not the time.
She reaches out upside down and she extends one finger towards you, Knight, and taps the bioluminescent splatter that appeared on your legs.
Oh no!
And she is going
I
to
thought that would come back.
Electrify you.
Oh no!
And you feel your leg muscles seize, and you feel the electricity all the way up your body. You are going to take one harm on that.
I'll take one harm. That's fine. Just one.
And considering the fact that you all done beat my baddies, takes us back to our wardens. You can remain in the same kind of initiative order if you want to live in that world for order's sake, or if people are like, wait, I have a thing that I really want to do.
Listen, we gotta let Bash.
I was gonna say,
Bash got us mad.
It's my job, baby.
Post shock, I just kind of like, oh, Bash.
Yes, dear.
Can you do what
Coming
you like
there.
to do best?
Could I ask, how does movement work in this? You say you can move like one band
you can
from
move
close to near or
one
something?
range band. Yeah. So if you're close, if you're medium, you can move to near. If you're near, you can move to close, considered melee range. So
if I wanted to, like with the movement on my last turn, would I have been able to move towards the water, like to get so
where were
I'm
you
closer
before?
to getting my thing back? I was
Where
here
were you before? You were there? Yeah, you can move closer. So you'd be like, you would move from, right now the water is medium away. So you are considered,
so
you would move into near, yes.
Move so that it's near, yeah. And
yes,
near
so
is
right about
what,
there.
like this?
Yeah,
Cool.
and then the next one up close would be when you can,
Yeah, I ran past. Actually, I would definitely keep Bash between me and bad guys at all times.
Yeah.
So I run behind Bash to there on my previous team. As I'm running, I just like pat Bash on the back and I'm like, go get him.
Go get him, champ. Yeah, so I will stride forward once again, two-handed overhead swing, cacao, like slicing this chick in half.
go for it. Roll me your might.
We're gonna go with
step out of the way so
That's
I get
right.
nice bioluminescence.
In
on
this
me.
party, we only let our friends electrocute us.
Correct.
Exactly.
Friendly fire.
Game master, that's a 4.
A 4. So that is a success with a complication. As you rear back with your axe and you just come down right, slicing her through the middle, you see the bioluminescence spray into the air and drops of it land on each of you. And you kind of find yourself like, covered in it.
I definitely want
do.
to make for that water.
Yep.
You do vanquish her, indeed. Let me find her and knock her down so I can. There we go. How about like that?
Amazing.
Just drove her right into the ground.
Correct. Generate a drop on that one. So excellent. We are out of our combat sequence. There are some drops for you available. Lots and lots of them, because holy heck. There are 6 fate available. There are 3 health available, and there are 2 grafts available. The first of which came from the Cracklegast that had been taken out first. You notice that there's this sort of deep purple sizzling ichor that just bubbles away, and it kind of moves and pulsates. And there's also on one of the will-o-wisps, you notice that there are several spines, kind of long pointed spines, kind of in the shape of shrapnel.
I'm interested in the purple one.
Are you?
I am.
Excellent.
It's a one-shot. Load me up.
Heck yeah. Let's take a grab. You walk over and do you touch it? What do you do?
Oh yeah. I think I'm scooping it.
Yeah. You scoop it almost like one of those like play slime things.
Yeah.
And as you do, it seeps into your skin, and you just feel it kind of pulse all the way down your forearm to your elbow, and your hands, you notice, have that purple glow to it. You now have the ability on one of your attack rolls to deal lethal poison.
That's what I'm talking about.
Anyone, do folks want to pick up other things?
The best kind.
Presuming the torch is picking up his flaming koosh ball.
Yeah. Yep. Torch is swimming. Torch has gone swimming.
I'm definitely going to take one of the fates.
Yeah. I feel like there's enough fate that has been dropped that we can all be back up to full. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Should be.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then GM,
like, if you're already full and you pick up a fate, it doesn't do anything, right?
Yeah, correct. You don't get it's not like a temporary fate point kind of system. Okay. Yeah. Once you're maxed out, you're maxed.
And then how many healths did you say, GM?
There are 3.
Okay. Who got kicked around?
Just
Bash and Naya.
Just Bash and Naya.
I'll toss one of the healths to Naya.
And maybe the torch with a bit of drown damage from trying to find this dead ball.
He's injuring himself in the water.
Do you need support out there?
Do you need
buddy?
help,
and as the torch, go ahead.
No, I'm gonna wander towards the edge of the water and start washing off the goo, but I'm also keeping an eyeball, because if the bubbles stop, I'm gonna go in.
Brilliant.
Just in case.
Oh my
dunking.
He's just dunking.
I love it. It's so brilliant. It's so silly and fun. Torch, as you dive into the water, you kind of swim down, in Witcher style. It's very dark and dim, and you do manage, you have a connection with your weapon. You know where it is, and you reach out and you grab it, and as you look up, you see through the water this glowing bioluminescent thing just above the surface, kind of off on that shoreline where you could see. And as you resurface, you see a bioluminescent forest. Your eyes go red with the flames. And once again, the hedge goes, "Onward, my darlings, onward." And you feel the pull towards this bioluminescent forest.
You just start walking forward further into the water.
Start swimming towards it immediately.
He's going.
Oh,
he's going.
I guess that way.
Scoop.
Was there anything left? Is it just the fate and health that was left, right?
There's the spines that look like shrapnel.
Can I investigate those spines?
Sure. Would you like to take them as a grab?
Sure.
Excellent. Don't forget that y'all also have humanity now. Our Tempest has 1 less humanity available to her.
Nice.
So our knights, as you as you pick up the spines.
Is it an inverse relationship between your graft and your humanity? Like if you pick up a graft, you lose a humanity?
Sure. Exactly. That's why you can only have up to 3 grafts unless you say, forget it, I'm going into a 4th, and you have a heel turn and suddenly you're a baddie.
Yay.
Yay.
I mean, that's not my plan.
Suddenly.
Yay, that's not why I immediately went for a graft.
No.
As Naya, our starless knight, as you pick up the shrapnel, you see that it kind of glitters, this like silvery refraction of the sky. And you being the starless knight in particular, it makes you feel most wistful as it takes over. And as you touch it, you go, and you feel along your spine the spikes growing out from your back, which would be a defensive. You get a +1 to your armor on this. So
nice.
If something were to attack you, you have 1 armor that would be burned before you would take any damage.
That energy. And I will
Yes.
remove some humanity as I grow spikes from my spine, and I kind of like, I feel them. I don't have to tell anyone that this is what happened with my craft, right?
They can see it. These are visible things that happen.
I think we'll notice.
I just like take my hair and like cover it up a little bit.
It's like, no one can see it. It's fine.
No, we're fine.
Did your graft manifest visually, Tempest? I missed what it was while I was looking for my cush ball.
My hands are purple.
And glowy and purple and glowy.
So
amazing.
Nice, Sparky. Let's go follow our boy before he drowns himself. Huh?
Yeah, I'm getting on the other shore at this point.
He always he does this every time. Every time the hedge.
I told him not to go running out ahead of me. I'm gonna splash.
And
I'm gonna ride on Bash's shoulders.
Oh, yes. Come
on. Thank you.
I just kind of follow suit, smiling to myself. Just what a lovely group.
Little weirdos.
And as you make your way out into the sea, getting closer and closer to this radiant bioluminescent light, you see the towering trees above you, and you see flitting out throughout these blue sort of fireflies. While this place is beautiful, Torch, you know in particular, this cannot be trusted. As you arrive here into the Radiant Forest.
Oh,
wow.
Radiant
Holy
Forest.
Heck.
Wow.
I want to touch it.
No.
And we will take a little break there.
No. Knight's like, no.
Yep. Excellent.
Okay, great.
Let's take a break.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, friends. You find yourselves in this massive bioluminescent forest. Unfortunately for Sarah, who I think I knew was colorblind, I just didn't know what spectrum of colorblindness. This probably all looks, I don't know, right? Maybe green?
It's greenish. It's green.
Okay, greenish, which is still bioluminescent. So envisioning the kind of flitting like bright blue specks of light. You're surrounded by these massive trees that just emanate their leaves themselves, just kind of this pulsing, radiant glow. And as you land here, the Torch staring into the leaves, into the canopy, looks around and hears my cat throwing things on the floor.
Wow.
That was really loud.
You can hear it from the forest.
Yeah, from the forest. That's how bad she is.
Creature known only as my cat.
She was
yes.
Scully.
It is a giant cat. Lumbers
Wouldn't
out
that
of
be
the
Everyone
forest.
be on your best. Everyone be on the lookout. I feel like there's a giant prowling feline around.
Maybe not a giant prowling feline. However, Torch, you do feel the pull of the hedge as it says to you, there's danger here. Ready yourselves. And ready yourselves.
There's danger here.
Oh.
Before you appear several.
And with the several.
Several means more than 3.
Sure,
right?
Is more than 3.
Several is just multiple. Yeah.
Myriad creatures before you. You see hounds that sparkle with that same star-like energy that crackled off of you, our dear knight, when you had the graft implanted upon your backs there. You see these very large, what you believe to be once the shadows of the fey creatures of the world, and how they somehow managed to split their shadows away from themselves and created these sort of borderline demonic entities that hover here before you. And perhaps most daunting of all, you see standing before you here an elven grief dancer. She stands there and she's in perpetual kind of keening motion as she moves and spins and twists, and around her you see kind of this smoke and these embers spark up, and you pan down and you notice that her feet are blackened and bloody, and she is always moving, for she is, to use a descriptor, perhaps one who found herself in the Fae after the dancing plague took her into the woods. And here she is standing before you. And we're going to jump right back in.
I'm going to go first.
Do it.
Ooh, okay. Jump.
I'm going to do the Tempest Lash live wire.
Great.
I'm going to spend one fate for lightning to crackle around my fist, a living viper of primal energy. It connects to a foe at medium range or closer. It deals 2 harm, and I have live wire, which means additionally I may continue to deal this harm and move this foe on each of your following turns without spending additional fate, and your foe cannot move unless you move them.
Oh, it's like a witch bolt.
Yeah.
Can I add one harm to that with a dread point?
Oh, say again?
Yeah, I'm going to try and get in there as well.
I'm going to add
Naya
one.
first.
Sorry. I have a dread point from killing my previous foe, so I can add 1 harm to another warden's attack. So I would like to do that for Sparky.
Right?
Ooh.
Tempest.
I'm going to try. I see Sparky sparking up, and I'm going to try and get in there first, because if I get in there first, you can do an extra damage on your turn, as can all of our allies.
Okay.
So if I get in there first against this dancer, all of us attacking her can do extra damage.
Okay.
Bash,
so
what are you doing now too? Oh, sorry. I'm going to have everybody move kind of at the same time. So I want to. Let Rob finish, and then I want to hear, Laura, what Bash is going to be doing.
I'm going to use a power called a solemn vow. You speak a word in the language of the Fae, vowing ruin on your foe. Spend a fate and mark a target. I'm going to choose the one that's quite clearly the boss of the group, right? The purple dancer lady. When you attack this target, you deal an additional harm. Armor cannot reduce this damage in any way. Additionally, I've got the increased version of a solemn vow called Bound in Blood. Your allies also deal an additional harm to your marked target, and armor cannot reduce this damage. So any of us that are attacking the marked target do an extra damage, and the armor doesn't count to reduce it. So that's my vow. And I think it manifests as like the face spirits, like glow flies and things. The firebugs and stuff come spraying out. I think as I say the word, they get this like swarm of fireflies come out of my mouth and swarm around her.
It's gross.
I love it. It is gross. Bash, what's happening while this is, because this
one
is
of them stays in the mouth and no. Blowing through the cheek.
Okay. Well, we've got the big boss lady, and I have something else cool that I want to use. So I'm going to sort of settle myself between the party and our foes. And my last step, I push my foot down into the earth as hard as I can, and there's a rumble like the beginnings of an earthquake. I will spend a fate to use stone endures. As you lay about with fist and boot and steel, you walk unscathed through clouds of arrows and sheets of fire. Spend a fate. You cannot be affected by area of effect attacks until the beginning of your next turn.
Nice.
Additionally, I will add to that, get behind me. All allies near or closer cannot be affected by area of effect attacks until the beginning of your next turn.
Nice.
Something tells me this lady's got some stuff up her sleeve.
Brilliant. Okay, so we've hit
I
her.
don't know why you would
Sparky,
think that.
Sparky, how many harm did you hit for?
Well, it was 2 plus I got the bump from Naya and then also the bump from Flicker, so 4.
4, and then Naya, are you also sending an attack out? I know we talked about you sending a dread. Are you sending an attack out as well?
Yes, I'm gonna touch the ground and summon the long dark. So as soon as I like touch it, like mist starts pooling out from my hands, and it obscures my movements. I spend a fate. Ranged attacks against myself or my allies do 1 less harm until my next turn. And I'm actually going to add the impenetrable dark that foes cannot make ranged attacks against us. So I guess instead of the -1, is that how it works?
No, it's not.
Yeah, I think it sounds like
addition to.
Okay, because
I think it would be in addition
instead.
To.
Okay.
Oh, if it says instead, if the language says instead, then yes.
Okay. Yeah. So instead of that, sorry,
That's
foes cannot make ranged attacks against myself or my allies that are close to me, which is everybody.
Beautiful, as we've all kind of gathered. So that's 4 harm total from Sparky.
Mm-hmm.
And then Rob, you had dealt how many points of damage and then imbued other points of damage as well?
So I just did my power, which doesn't imbue any damage, but anytime that we attack her, she's marked and takes an additional damage.
Yeah, I don't think the rest of us have attacked yet.
Yeah, we just did our powers.
We didn't do the attacks, just the powers. Yeah,
just Sparks,
just
Sparks McGee over here.
Yeah,
just Sparkles.
Yeah, no, I mean that was also only my power. I didn't attack either.
Yeah, but you done something.
I did something.
Oh.
As you see her kind of dancing and swirling, and you see this electrical bolt connect dead center of her chest, and you just see her like stiffen and her hands tighten, and you see shooting out, instead of what you would imagine like smoke or sparks of any kind, you see those fireflies flying out of her as she kind of disseminates, and you hear rumbling in your ears, in your heart, deep in your soul. You hear, "You're mine."
Oh.
As the forest around you swirls and vanishes, you're tumbling through darkness. You fall seemingly endlessly, continuing until you land far, far into the forest and behold the crumbling ruins of an ancient church before you. You stand in the entryway. You hear the echo of the hedge begging, pleading with you. "Please, my darlings, take heart. Lose not your fate at this time." The church doors swing open. And you step inside for a final boss battle. I'm going to attempt to move you all over there.
Let us go.
Right,
I spent 1 fate.
Okay,
but when we land here, I would like to turn to my companions and go, "Oh, sorry." I feel like
I think it's okay.
I'm sorry.
I might.
I think this is what we're here for.
Then
right.
you're welcome.
I think you expedited it.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
I will.
Getting to the heart of the problem.
I will say that all of the effects that you implemented, with the exception of the attack that dispatched the grief dancer, that those effects would carry over as we are still in the midst of
like
danger.
The same fight.
Yes, correct.
Rad.
So,
Okay, I'm dropping everybody.
We appreciate this. Like, look at the setup, y'all. Look at the setup.
It's so cool. I love it.
Brilliant. Go ahead and grab your figgies and go into the church because I said so.
No, won't let me do it again. There we go. I always have to try like 2 or 3 times before it lets me move.
Yes, sometimes I have to try a couple times to ping. I think it's also my mouse is not the best. So,
So it ends in a church.
Hello, church.
As you find yourself here and you walk through these tiled halls, this last remnant in the wildlands of what was once a civilization, a place of respite, you find rot and decay and detritus everywhere as your boots fall on the ground. And standing before you at the altar, you see a massive looming figure.
Ooh.
I do believe it is.
This is the Kennel White, the bringer of destruction. And you
I
are
have a feeling
surrounded.
this is what the Hedge wants us to defeat. Just a hunch.
And you are surrounded by several banshees. And we're gonna kick it off. It is still all of your turns. We're gonna bring back the powers that you had implemented in the bioluminescent forest and bring them here into the church. So sort of thinking of it as like that was kind of your readying action before, and now we are in the midst of the battle. So
I think as soon as we walk in, as soon as we walk in and the church around us is all dark and gloomy, it's not fun for Torch. Torch is all about the light, so I think he does exude more of these fireflies which wrap themselves around the main antler boy at the end there. And then immediately gets the cush ball out and starts to look for that spot of light.
So you're readying that attack there?
Yeah, I'm
Bendy? Take an attack.
Excellent. Yeah, Bendy, what are you thinking?
Can I use Sleight to kind of dexterously?
Dexterously?
Yeah, that word. I know word good.
Words are hard.
Words are very hard. And I would like to flourish with my blade and try to slice the banshee that is right next to me.
Go for it.
Okay, with the 2, a reminder of how many d6s?
You're going to roll 2d6 and take the higher of them.
Heard. That's a 5.
5, excellent. So this is an uncomplicated full success on that. So you dump how much harm into her?
My blade has a 2 already. Then I have +2 for venom and a -1 to the armor.
And you also get a buff from the torch as well.
Yes.
So technically it would be 5 with these are not considered 5 armored creatures.
Got it. So 5.
How do you slice through her?
As they like fall, kind of like in that quick, like the glint out of the corner of my eye, I see her and I remove my blade from its sheath, and in like a swift movement as I remove it, I slice it upwards like past the kind of like beneath her chin.
And you hear the shriek as she and what would have deafened you knowing what this creature is. You just hear it kind of fade, almost like a Wilhelm scream, as she just vanishes. She is felled, and she drops a fate before you.
But she doesn't stay. She's vanished completely, right? So
she is gone. Correct.
So this is a case where I can't use my next power.
Oh no, you when you vanquish a foe, you can use your next power. Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, these particular foes, because of the Arisen Horde is my other power, and it says I have to utilize their bodies. So if they're disappeering, am I no longer?
We'll retcon that because I love that feature and I want you to use it.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
No, totally okay.
I was like, wait,
are you implementing it now or on your next round?
Next round. I want
Copy
2
that.
of them. So just preemptively figuring out if I can still use that.
Copy that. Okay. Yes. Let me knock her down.
My darkness is still in effect. They cannot make ranged attacks.
Great to know, because that's a whole thing right now. Great. Yep. Awesome. Who's jumping in next? Unless there's something else you want to do, Bendy.
No, that's
bash.
Bash wants to bash.
Bash wants to bash.
So I'm gonna be a little showboat, and I'm gonna lock eyes with Mr. Tall,
dark, and handsome.
antlered, and tall, dark, and antlered.
Tall, dark, and antlered.
And dangerous.
Yeah, I'm just gonna point my great axe at him, and then I'm gonna turn and take a big old swing at the banshee over here.
You bet. Lay it on me.
Crush it. Or bash it. Mainly
That's a 5.
5. Uncomplicated success. Quite a success.
What do I got? What did I say I have? I have a reach, so I can harm enemies at near range. I've got, I think I did the heavy, so it deals an additional point of harm to any target struck.
Excellent.
And then we've got a bonus from the torch.
Correct.
Yep.
And then
fireflies are blinding him or something.
And then 2 initial from the weapon itself. Yes.
Correct. So that would be 4 or 5 total.
And another dread for me because I killed a foe.
I think that makes it 6 then.
That sure do.
Smash him.
You live up to your namesake as you run up and just lop her head off, and you just see it.
Wow.
Yeah. I'll use the follow through momentum to spin and just face off with the what'd you call him? Kettlewhite? Kennelwhite.
Yes.
Just staring at him, cold, ready to go.
Yes. Excellent.
And as a reminder, I believe I still have my power up. Get behind me. Additionally, all allies near or closer cannot be affected by area of effect attacks until the beginning of my next turn.
Great. Love it. Excellent. Any other things that you would like to do? Are you getting closer to him, or are you staying back?
I'm going to stay back for now and watch the situation.
Beautiful. Who's next?
You want to go, Torch?
I will run. I'll run towards. So from where I am now in the doorway, how close can I get to the big guy at the end? What range is I
would say he's considered. I would say he's considered medium in terms of it. So if where you are
near.
Yeah, you can get to near. That's about there.
Here-ish?
Yep.
So as I'm running forwards, I've found that light, that little spot of light. I've concentrated it down. The cush ball goes up. I take a big old spinning attack, but I think we see the fire from the cush ball actually burns down my arm, and my entire right arm sets on fire. And I think it sticks around like that in a less humane way, because I've just realized I can spend humanity to give myself an additional attack dice. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to spend a humanity to give myself an attack dice on this because my might isn't so good, and I don't want to miss again.
That goes for everybody, by the way. You can use your humanity to do that.
Also, I have a point of channel I can give you.
Oh, nice.
That gives you an extra die on your combat roll.
Nice. So that's 4. I like that. I'll take 3. One from might, one from spending humanity, and one from channel. So I'll go with 3 dice, fling this flaming ball at him, and then I get an additional harm if it hits because of the solemn vow.
Great.
Right. So 3d6 to the highest. Is that right?
Correct.
I got a 1, a 4, and a 5. So 5 should be good.
5. Yes, that is a success with no complications.
So it does the 2 damage from regular. It does an extra damage of burning because he's set on fire now. It does an extra damage because of my solemn vow, and I think that's it. So 4 damage.
Excellent. As he is just set ablaze, the crackling kind of goes up to his antlers, and you see his antlers just this radiant crown of fire. Other things you'd like to do?
I believe we were sort of tying it into the same. We did a sort of a split half round before where I used my power already. So I've used my power, my movement, and my attack. So I think I'm good.
Correct. Excellent.
I'm gonna move over to I haven't done my attack or my move, so I'm gonna move over to this banshee here, and I'm gonna shove one of my electric throwing stars in her mouth, and then activate my lethal poison.
Great. Great.
That's awesome.
So first I have to roll for the attack. I feel like this is like a dexterous thing. So maybe
Yeah, you're trying
slight.
to get it right. Yeah. Like it's like she's opening her mouth to let loose this scream and you just shove a fist in it. Did you get a 6?
I got a 6.
Nice.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
So I just like, she opened her mouth and I just like went, nope. Ugh.
She goes,
She's screaming.
she bites down on it and she can't stop her jaw and she goes, oh. As the poison seeps from your arms into the throwing star and up into her face, and she is frozen in terror as she falls back, defeated.
I did it.
You did it.
So proud.
Beautiful. A raft has fallen from her. I want to make sure that this might be something that you would be able to use.
Listen, we're real close to the end. Whatever it is, I'm just going to take it.
Just take it.
I will.
As soon as it's fallen,
one shot,
hit the ground.
One shot. Cool. You from her, you see this glittering, that same bioluminescent color crystal that has landed, and as you pick it up, it disappears from your hand, channels up your arm and into your throat, and your throat glows this luminescent blue, and you now have the ability to do a banshee scream.
Yeah.
Which would deal 2
What
harm.
shade of blue, though?
I'm going to go with cyan again, because that cyan's living with me.
Okie dokie.
Excellent. Other things?
Well, I had already used my power. So is this is still technically that same round?
Correct.
Okay,
yes,
cool.
Correct.
Then I have done all of my things.
Brilliant. That's all of the things, right? Excellent.
I believe so.
Well, we have... Oh, I have to knock this banshee down. Hold on. I got to knock her down. There we go. Excellent.
I slapped her so good.
You slapped her real hard.
So we've got one more untouched banshee and a slightly injured flaming dude.
Correct.
Who are stuck in the impenetrable dark. Correct.
Nice.
They're still unable to attack.
Oh yeah, they can't make ranged attacks at us.
Correct. This one is going to move, however, right up next to you, Naya, and make an attack on you as she takes a big breath of air in.
I don't even flinch.
And goes to scream. She deals to you 2 harm.
Okay.
The Kennel White, you hear his voice reverberating once again in your soul, saying, "You fools, you know not what you do." And he is going to cast his rain arrows. Did you, in terms of the bastion, it cannot be affected by ranged or by area of effect things?
Get behind me. Additionally, all allies near or closer cannot be affected by area of effect attacks until the beginning of my next turn.
Got it. So that would mean that the torch is not affected by this, but the night and the tempest are affected.
Oh no, I went too far.
Correct.
That's
Listen, get behind me, not stay behind me.
Damn it.
Get behind me and come with me.
The 2 of you are going to take 3 harm as you look up and this impenetrable darkness, you see these arrows cast down from the heavens.
All good.
That's
guys all
5
good.
harm for me.
Ooh.
Did you fall?
You're all good. I got you.
Not yet. I got 1 left.
I got you.
Ouch.
And that is all of the ouchie guys' turns, which brings us back around to our wardens. Who's going first on this one?
I'm going first then to heal my allies because I see them getting hurt and I don't like that. And I think what does it look like that hurts them? What is it? What is the
It's this
rain of
kind of rain of arrows. Yeah.
I think as the arrows strike into them, yeah, as the arrows strike into them, I think I turn back towards the bad guy and siphon off some of the light. He's still, I don't know if the burning continues or if it's a one and done thing, but the fire as it's going out, I siphon the light off of it. The heat of the fire is still there, but now it's not putting out fire. It's like now it's not putting out light. It's like a black flame. And as I siphon all of the light off, I turn and light up the arrows that are sticking out of my friends. And I'm going to use my power for a fate point called Arise Light and Fear No Darkness. Instead of the dealing 3 harm as I did last time, now it's commanding flesh and bone to knit itself anew. Each ally gains 3 health.
Ooh.
So I'm going to heal all of my allies around for 3 health.
Hey, thanks.
Brilliant.
As the arrows kind of burn up, and as they burn up and kind of dissipate from the wounds, they kind of cauterize the wounds.
There's also 1 additional health that had dropped from the Banshee that was, not that one, this one.
Got it.
So there is a health available there.
I will get ready to grab that.
Yeah, you take it.
But before I do, I wanna grab the back of the head of this Banshee and drive my venomous blade straight through it.
Oh wait,
Excellent,
are
go
you
for it.
Torch? Are you finished with your?
Oh yeah, Torch. Did you have another?
I can do the rest of my stuff.
I apologize.
I've just got movement and an attack. I'm just going to run up to the guy who's on fire and attack him. So just you do your thing.
Okay.
Run as you do your thing.
Get him.
Near, so I can get to close. Yes.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So I run up to close. I pick up the koosh ball from the ground. Just try and drive it. Try and drive it into his face. Now that I'm next to him.
Go for it.
All right. The spending humanity for an extra dice, that was just a one round thing, yeah? So it was just on that attack.
Correct. Yes. Because
you
just used a humanity on the last round, did you not?
I used the humanity in my previous round to attack him. Yeah.
You can do it again.
I can do it again. Ooh, okay.
Rafts are the
as I
only
pick
thing
up the
that you can
koosh
only
ball,
use the one time.
the koosh ball is still aflame. As I pick it up and my arm is still on fire, the fire intensifies because I've picked it up with the other arm now, and it goes up my arm and my entire body's on aflame as I use another humanity. I'm turning myself into like a human torch or something here, appropriately for my name. And so I'm going to roll with 2d6. Yeah, 2d6 is my might and then my humanity. Oh, nice. Oh, no. It was a total of 6. I got a 2 and a 4. So I'll take the 4.
4.
Yep. 4 is a success with a complication. So as you ignite and hurl your puffball, we never landed on a real word for it, and I love it. It's so funny. As you hurl it, it catches him in the chest, and he rears back, and the crackling energy around him. And as he screams, bits of the ceiling, the complication is that bits of the ceiling have started to fall, and the building is starting to crumble around you. We now have a time clock.
He takes another 4 harm, 2 from the ball, 1 from flaming, and 1 from my vow.
Brilliant. Excellent.
No, that's just for me. Yeah.
I would like to help my friend bring this guy down because this seems to be the most immediate threat. So I'm going to watch as Flick runs up and lights himself on fire. I follow shortly after, just sprinting across the floor.
Yeah.
I'm gonna, for flavor, I would also like to burn a humanity to give myself an extra die on my might.
Do it. One shot.
One shot.
And I have another channel that you can take, so you get an extra die from me.
Bang, baby.
So you should get 4, I think, right?
4 dice.
Woo!
So I'm gonna bound off like the broken pillar that's just off the altar. Parkour. Both hands overhead. There is a scream that almost echoes through the broken chapel as my eyes go from their usual warm brown to just flat black.
Amazing.
That's a 5.
Yeah.
Absolutely hits. Uncomplicated. A full
Okay.
success.
Okay.
So arousing success.
2 from the weapon itself, 1 from the heavy.
Correct.
Do I have an extra from somebody else, or is that one and done?
You get for the damage you're dealing?
For the damage.
The damage comes from my fireflies from me. So
okay.
That's all I'm adding. Just 1 damage from the fireflies.
Okay. So that's still 4 harm.
4 harm. He is looking rough, fam. As Bash lands, like 3-point landing, like these totally blacked out eyes. We've never seen Bash quite this level of rage filled.
Yeah, and I'll make sure that I'm like flanking. I don't know if that's a thing.
I'll run up, and when I'm about here, I'll unleash my Tempest Slash again. Live wire.
Go for it.
I deal 2 harm, and continue to deal that same harm to him next turn.
Oh, nice.
Without spending extra fate, and then he cannot move unless I move them. So he takes 2 plus 1 from Flick, so 3 harm for me, and then with my attack, can I Banshee Scream at him?
Yes.
Will that be an area of effect, or is it targeted?
It would be targeted.
Great. Then I would like to scream all up in his business.
All up in his heckin' face?
Yeah.
Right up in his ear. Right in his ear hole.
And that would be an extra harm. Great. I'm assigning him to you because you're currently controlling him.
Nice.
So that would have been a total of 4 harm, is that right?
4 harm.
Excellent. Bendy, I think we got you.
My fireflies?
Yeah, I added for you, yeah.
Bendy, I think we got interrupted on what you were doing with this Banshee and what your turn was. I'm sorry on that. Tell me where you're at.
So I'm gonna 2-parter. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm going to from like to the side without even looking, put my hand out above the Banshee that's fallen over, and I'm going to do a Risen Horde, but this time Grave Titan. I summon a single massive thrall. This thrall deals 4 damage and has 4 health.
So the one in, did you kill the one in front of you?
I'm about to.
I'm gonna. I am going to.
Confidence.
I was thinking if I do that one first. I'm sorry.
No. I thought it was really funny.
I love it.
Oh,
a massive thrall?
Yes.
Cool. And guess what? It belongs.
I thought it was.
Yes.
I thought it was Sarah's token that you have to go 4 times the size.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then
that's the next craft I'm picking up. It's 4 times the size.
And then yes, I will drive my blade through the one in front of me. Same action, grabbing her head to drive it onto the blade, and then after that, I'm gonna take this Banshee for a spin. Well, take her.
Great.
Take an extra.
Yes.
I got one more channel, so you get an extra die.
Amazing. Thank you all. 5. Okay, so 5 is the highest on that roll.
That is a true success as you stick your blade in. How much damage are you dealing?
Ooh. Wait. Damage. Oh, yes. 4. 4
points of damage.
Yes.
Excellent. She's still standing, but she is not looking good.
Okay. I didn't have any.
Still standing, but not happy about it.
Correct. Like a weekend at Lollapalooza, you're still standing, but you're not happy about it.
I can relate to that.
Yeah.
Just want to lay down.
Do you want to take this Banshee for a ride?
I sure do.
Go for it.
So she's going to cross the room and screaming as she runs just straight into this man.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
This antler.
And she auto deals that 4 harm, right?
Yes.
Brilliant. As the
Torch turns and says, "Oh God, there's another one!"
He just comes bounding over top of you and like climbs up on like.
Yeah, it like you think it's coming for you, and it just goes up and over, like kind of skittering and getting into the face of this creature. And you see, as it screams into the face, you see the force of the scream is so loud that this kennel white is this kind of deer skull with these fiery looking antlers, this big imposing figure. But you see bits of the skull start to slough off, and you're once again seeing that kind of like radiant light rather than blood or ichor or anything that you see pooling out. You're seeing that radiant light trickling down as if its blood was made of light. He's on his last legs, and it's his turn. Oh, go ahead.
Add to the final, because it just says that it has the following moves, which is the Banshee Scream, but it also says die for your master, which additionally it can explode with the health reduced to 0. So can I just straight up from the back of the room go die for your master as this Banshee explodes in front of him?
Yeah, you can.
And takes 4 damage?
Yes, you can. Yes, you can. As you see it coming running up, you're seeing this like the degradation of this kennel white, and you're hearing the rumbling in your ears of him saying, "No, no," and she just explodes outward in shadow and flame, and you see the kennel white just and you see it spattering the walls, this bioluminescent glowing fluid. As the creature vanishes and the Banshee standing before you goes up, and you hear the Hedge's voice. You see the Torch standing there, having had his arms over his head, standing there. He stares outward. His eyes go that same fiery ember. And you hear the good Hedge go, "Well done, my darlings. I'm so proud of you. Now come home." And before you is a chest.
Sometime.
Before you is a chest.
I mean, I'll open it.
Yeah, I'll crack that thing open.
Yep, 100%.
And as you crack it open, you reach inside and pull out a large sphere of faintly glowing moss agate. And as you hold it in your hand, it is warm to the touch. And you all kind of stare at it, each gently place a hand on it. And you hear the kind, warm voice of the Hedge in your ear. And you know that this orb of moss agate is meant for helping humanity restore itself. It is a precious item, and you've found it. And maybe, just maybe, along with the Hedge, you can help to bring humanity back and start anew. And as you place your hands on it, you feel a tug as you tumble through space, past the stars, seeing bits of fire, electricity, venom, and rage, and you land back on the black sandy beaches, glass surrounding you. Back just on this side of the Hedge, back to your home. And that's where we'll leave it.
Yay! We did it.
Incredible.
Yay!
Amazing.
Well done.
I love this game so much. Oh
10
no.
out
I
of
love
10.
this game so much. We have a couple of things to wrap up. I know it's a one shot, but in the interest of completionism on Hedge and honoring the Drakes and their amazing work, the way that XP is earned is whether you destroy a graft or not, or if they're leftover grafts, or if you can answer these questions. Does the Hedge still stand?
Yes.
Yes.
point of XP. Did you save someone from certain death?
Ourselves.
Yeah, each other.
Yeah.
Sure.
There was
Did you?
certainly
Red health
someone saved.
was a nice one up.
Yep, you did save someone from certain death. Did you defeat a memorable foe?
Yes.
Oh yeah, that guy was memorable.
And did you learn something about the Fae?
Yes,
Yeah.
bioluminescent letters.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
So if we were continuing in a campaign,
Nice.
that would be enough XP for us to level up and gain more powers and grow our characters.
Ooh, cool.
This has
Love
been
it.
so wonderful.
Let's do our moments of gratitude. What
Heck yeah.
what happened in
Ooh,
this
yeah.
one-shot adventure that people found like super cool? So what somebody at the table did something that you thought was rad.
So many good moments.
So many good moments.
Yeah, so many good ones. I really liked the description of the sort of crab walking woman that sort of reached out from above herself, like upside down, but reached out and just gently touched, because it was so like it was the only person that actually got to attack out of all of the 9 enemies that we had on the beach. We annihilated 8 of them before they got to attack. So the way that she reached out, I was just expecting this like scrabbly, clawing kind of, going for your throat, tearing your throat out kind of attack. But instead, it was just this light, ominous touch to the bioluminescent, and it made me go, "Oh God, this could be anything. I don't know what this is going to do.
I don't like it.
Whatever the effect is coming, I don't want it, but it's going to happen." And I love that description.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was very cool.
Bendy, I love the vibe that you created for Naya just from the jump. Like I don't think I've ever seen someone drop into character that quickly. Like you just went in and it was great. That like cool, collected, like confidence. Oh, it was delicious. I loved it.
Thank you. I absolutely loved the energy you brought to Bash. That was I can tell that like you just felt that character. And I enjoyed your descriptions of her, and your bashing was dope.
It's what I'm here for.
I really loved Rob's dedication to that koosh ball that he had. Just like chasing it around the battlefield and like
well, as soon as you attacked, and Kato was like, "Have you got the many feature? You've got lots of these things." And I was like, "Oh shit, is that a thing?"
Oh, is that a thing?
And I looked at the weapons, and I was like, "No, I didn't take many, so I've got just one of these things."
Just the one.
It was
like, well,
so brilliant.
I loved it.
I loved all of it. I truly love, kind of piggybacking off of what Bendy said. You each dropped into these characters really readily, and it was really fun to see. This is like sort of there's a little bit of like maybe not serious, but a little bit more of like a solemn tone to this game. And your moments of like irreverent joy were really fun to watch. Like, especially like Sarah with your crackly energy, and you're like, I will take anything and everything.
What you
that
got?
Mischief. Bash, your description of that like full truly blacked out rage. The anime struggle of our sweet Torch, especially when the koosh ball went into the water. That was so fun. And Bendy, you're leaning into this like almost like this demonic sort of thing, especially like when you got this spiky shrapnel blades down your spine, that this was like sort of this like yes, like this and that specifically when you pulled the banshee into your blade. That was really cool.
So it's so much not what you expect of a knight when you hear about a knight.
Yeah,
you don't think
exactly.
You don't think demonic necromancer.
Yeah, that's
like,
probably the only reason like I was okay playing a knight, because I never play knight characters or anything in that kind of realm. So I was like, okay, this is like a knight, but spooky.
Yeah.
It's like, I can definitely make that work.